Alexandra residents say they are living in fear after the discovery of 4 bodies at a dumpsite 2 days after Christmas. They fear there could be a serial killer on the loose. The community organized a meeting with all Alexandra stakeholders where they decided what they call a cleanup operation to rid the area of criminals. For more on this, now let's bring in our reporter Maageketla Mohlabe, who is joining us from Alexandra. Good morning and welcome to the agenda. Maageketla, has it been established whether these 4 people are related at all?
A very good morning to you, Aldrin. Perhaps let's open this statement this way. Alex, yet again. You'd recall in 2018, Aldrin, that there was that total shutdown protest. And what you see in that picture there, some of the issues that came out of that protest was the issue of service delivery. And of course, back then, the municipality was under fire. Irate residents burning tires everywhere, demanding accountability. Today, 2021, we are back in Alexandra. This is where 4 bodies were found on the 27th of December. We understand that these were people, just random residents who were mugged, were robbed, and the residents here believe that this basically is done by the same group. Because I'm going to speak to one of the survivors now, Aldrin, who was shot right here, just next to the London Road, which leads you to the N3. According to what we hear is that these people target vulnerable groups in this community, specifically women. And among those 4 who died in that incident, they were raped. And we also understand that one of the victims who was shot and killed on that day, on the 27th, was with this lady. We're going to speak to her now. She survived that shooting. She was shot in her shoulder. If I could ask my colleague, Japan Matebula, to show you the bandage just over her left shoulder. She's still in pain, but she has opted to speak to us on condition of anonymity because she's still fearing for her life. My sister, thanks so much for speaking to us. I just want you to take us back. This incident happened on the 26th. You briefed me earlier on. I just wanted you to take us back to what led to what happened to you.
Okay. Sa bue besiphuma esontweni. So njengoba siphuma esontweni, i-taxi lebe sigibele beyiphuma from beya station 7 to Bhekilanga. So thina ngithi besihamba straight. Sathi okay, siyekeni la. So sahamba saya kwi-spot sethu. Siniye isekele vele siseduze nesekele. Saya kwi-spot sethu safike sahlala saxoxa. I think lapha boma 6:30. These 2 guys bafika. Bakhokha ibhamu bathi don't move, ningabheke emuva, ningenzi anything, futhi ningacela usizo, because if ningacela usizo sizondubula sidubule nalabantu laba enizobe nicela usizo kubo. So nathi ke sa obey, sahamba saze safika la kubush. Masifika lana bangikhahlela, then bathi uguy lona maka kneel down, raise my hands like up, which is gay. Yeah, bathatha ibag guy, mabethatha ibag guy, basecha wallet bathola ID ne mal, I think be 13 rand. So babuza yey wena ikuphi imali, ngathi mina no guy anginamali, thatha nanoma yini ofuna ukuyithatha, but ungazosijayela kabi. You can't wear impahla as expensive, so bese uzositshela ukuthi awunamali, which is bangidubula la kwishoulder. Bangidubulele eduze vele. Ngazilahlela phansi, ngabona lona ukuthi omunye uyeza, which is uzongibheka, angazi ukuthi uzongisetha or uzenza, ngazenza ngathi ngifile. Afika kimi angisetha, angibamba ama private parts, which is bekafuna ukungirape. Athe sathi uqhaqha ibruku. Lo munye afika angithena intamo, beka busy like angislapha nje ebusweni, angithena intamo, maka ngithena intamo athi no ifile lento, we can't rape a dead body. So bahamba lo munye sakhumula icathulo baya kuGayi bafike bamdubula la esandleni. So because uGayi beke 2 week, I think bamdubule ama-veils. So kusho ukuthi ke bahamba ngalinda after 5 minutes ngababheka ngababona ukuthi okay baya kulesa strata se River Park to Alex Mall. Okay, after 5 minutes ngamvusa, wake up asambe. Azange a responde, she was busy crying. So ngazama ukumdonsa ngaze ngafika I think laphaya ngabona ukuthi amandla ayaphela because ngibleedela phezu kwakhe yonke lento and ipower sengiyayiluza nami. Ngahamba ngaya ku London Road. Mangifika ku London Road, I think imoto ezingirejectile ezi more than 5. Ngibatshela ukuthi no kune body lapha nayo inimele bebesiroba, but no we can't help you. Siyayisaba la bush leyana. So azange bangisize ngavela ngathi okay ngizonila down lapha phakathi kwestrata, if kwamele ngife then it's fine. Ngangena phakathi kwestrata ngaguqa ngamadolo ngacela usizo, omnye ubhuti wangilayita imoto abona ukuthi no like lento is serious, asumuntu ekuthayo abuza ukuthi hi yini, ngamtshela ngithi no sirobiwe bekuyirobari. So bathathe into zethu basidubula just because besingenamali lena bebeyifuna. So ngamtshela ngathi kunomunye engihamba naye ulapha ngicela siyomthatha, mara seke seduze ngizamile ukumdonsa. uGayi wa refuse wathi no anye ngize ngimthathe. Wathi bamdubule kuphi, ngathi yena bamdubule la esandleni mina bangidubule la ku shoulder, but okay ithi ngithathe wena because wena awusakwazi nokubreathe like ipower uyayiluza. Wangithatha wangisa eMasakhane clinic le yase Alexandra. So mangisa khona bafika lapha I think ngilinde 20 minutes babiza ama paramedics angithatha angisa eLokhunjaneni eJoburg Gens. So kusho ukuthi ngilapha ngafika ngathola khona usizo. So uGayi lo yana owangisa le wangitshela ukuthi uzobiza amaphoyisa ukuthi azolanda uGayi lo. I think baba fonela amaphoyisa azangenze or uGayi azange azayenze at all lento le angitshele yona. So eksene 27 bengikhohle wonke amanamba wefamily, I'm like wonke nawo ama friends everyone ngalokhunjana ngathatha ngacabanga bengikhumbula inamba kaGayi lo bengihamba naye kuphela. Ngacabanga ngathi okay iphone kaGayi ino friend wakhe lo bekanaye nge25. Ngafonela yena ngamtshela ukuthi no ngicela uhambe uye ebushini eso eniye eLondon ufike ubheke umuntu osona so ifriend yakho ilapha ya basidubule sonke le. Kusho ukuthi mina ngithi ngimshiye adubule kayi1, kusho ukuthi makamthola uzothola bamdubule 3 bullets here esuswini, bamdubula la ekhanda yaphumela ngapha, bamshaya lana ebusweni beke nama injury ebusweni, bamkhumule neimpahla bashiye iskip kuphela, bashiye i-t-shirt kuphela.
Yeah, so in short you're saying that on that day, the 26th of December, you were from a church, and then after you got off a taxi, and then these guys, there were two of them.
Yeah,
two of them.
The language that they were talking, it's Ndebele from Zimbabwe.
All right. Let me just try to translate it for the viewers to understand. Of course, Aldrin, she's saying that on that day, the 26th of December, they were coming from a church and getting off from a taxi. Then these two guys out of nowhere accosted them, said that they should start moving, and of course telling them that if you shout, should it happen that you shout, we're going to shoot you as well as those people around us. And they cooperated until this bush where she was kicked. That's how she puts it. She was kicked, and then she was demanded money. Her bag was taken. They found 13 rands in her bag, and of course asking questions as to why do you have to move around without enough cash, and how come is it that you are wearing nice clothes but you do not have cash walking around Alexandra. She said that she was then shot in the shoulder, as you can see here, and then her partner was also shot in the stomach. But then she actually tried to assist her partner at that moment, but she was losing blood. He was losing blood. And she tried to walk down that particular road, London Road there, trying to make sure that she gets attention of motorists. 5 of them ignored her. And of course, she then decided to kneel in the middle of a busy road, raising her hands up, trying to get more attention from the motorists. A truck driver, of course, stopping and seeing that she was actually losing more blood. He offered to take her to an Alexandra hospital just by the London Road here. But then later, she then heard that the partner was shot with more 3 bullets in the stomach, as well as 1 through the head. And that's why we have 4 incidents here, 4 people who died, and 1 of them was the partner whom she was with on the 26th of December. But let's talk about this. You heard them speak isiNdebele, as you mentioned, and you saying that you could actually determine that was not a local language because you are closer speaking, right?
Yeah.
Just tell me more about that.
So njengoba like ngibazile benginokuhlala nabantu abakhuluma le language bebeyikhuluma, so sengi-used kuye, nasesikoleni ngiyahlala nabo, so ngiyijwayele, ngiyayazi. So ngithe mangibezwa ngathi no, akusiyisindebele lesi sala local, isindebele saseZimbabwe. Ngiyasazi, like angeke uze ungiphikise ngaso, ngiyasazi. So ngibazwile uma besikhuluma. So kusho ukuthi ke mina bangidischarge nge-28, baqale bangisa ku-x-ray. Mabengisa ku-x-ray ngaqala ngableed igazi eliningi since from 26, 27, 28, mara bangisa ku-x-ray. Mabengisa ku-x-ray bese ngibhetha 28. Mabengisa ku-x-ray bathola ukuthi okay, ibullet bangidubule kayi-1. Ibullet iphuke into 2 pieces, eyinye i-near heart, eyinye ila ku-shoulder, eyinye la eduze nenhliziyo, eyinye la ku-shoulder. So bathi angeke bayikhiphe because ku-dangerous ukuthi bayikhiphe, I might die. So bathi okay, angeke siyikhiphe. Ilokhu njane ukuphola kuthatha 3 weeks to 2 weeks. So bathi ngibuyele eJoburg jail 14.
Okay. So the bullet that you were shot with, it went through your shoulder. Yes. And it split into 2, and according to the x-ray that was taken of you, it split into 2, and 1 is not far from your heart.
Yes.
And according to the doctors, it's quite dangerous for them to remove it at this stage.
Yes.
Perhaps this is the question that I should have asked you from the start, and I apologize. How do you feel now?
Yo like ngiyasaba, ngisaba everything, ngisaba nokuphuma, ngishayo umoya, like ngithi ikhona ilona igate, ikhona isafety, mara ngiyasaba still nokuthi ngiphume ngishayo umoya, ngihlale nabanye abantwana, like ngiyasaba, ngihlezi ngizivalele ekamereni. And ngine trauma once umuntu anyazi difference ye-cricket neye-gun. So which is umuntu mangashaya i-cricket ngiyathuka ngizinimazi, or mangalala ubuthongo obude ngiphupha yonke le nto beyenzeka that day, ngizinimazi yabona izinto ezinjalo. Sometimes umuntu ngingamuza nokuthi uthini, ngivula amehlo nje ngihlele ngiwani ngibheke phezulu, which is ngicabanga yonke le nto leya.
Of course, Aldrin, just to wrap it up, traumatized of that gun sound here. That time of the year, the festive season, you hear a lot of firecrackers. That sound reminds her of what happened here. She's traumatized, and every time she hears the firecracker sound, she gets scared, thinking that perhaps it could be gunshots. And that's just the level of trauma she is going through. She's scared to walk outside in the street after that particular incident. But thanks so much for your time, Ceci. Let's release you. Just go that way. We're going to bring in a community leader here. Malebo, if you could just stand there for us. These are incidents that are close to you as community leaders. And we've got a school there, and I don't know if my camera colleague, Chaban Matebula, could be able to zoom in there. That is a school. Many of the kids that walk to and from that particular school there pass by this bush here, where 4 bodies were found. Tell us about this concern.
Okay. Yes, it's a huge concern because we have 4 schools there. Abantwana bandlula lana, more especially my grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. It's all about primary there. They are passing here, they are going that way. We feel that our government should come and assist us. More especially Region E must come and assist. Because umasiagu city parks, which was cleanelela, they are telling us about ESCOM. ESCOM, when we go them, they are telling us about city parks. So what we are saying, they can give us those of cleaner as community. We can clean it. Because abantwana bethu abahambala. Yes.
We come from 2018, which I actually mentioned earlier on to my colleague Aldrin St. Pierre, to say that these are issues that came out in that total shutdown protests. Have they been resolved? We know that Human Rights Commission are still investigating. They're still trying to compile a report to sort of determine a way forward in terms of resolving the issues that face residents of Alexandra. What's been the way forward ever since then for you as residents here?
Okay, since the protest, so we feel like as abahlali bala Alexandra, they are undermining us. Kwezinye indawo when izinto zenzakala but yenza a shutdown, they run there and attend them. But here in Alexandra, they just take us for granted. So we are coming for round 2, and round 2 it's going to be very, very heavy.
All right. Of course, a community leader here. Let's just the Cornelius. Because of time, just shortly, the community leaders, in fact, community residents here took matters into their own hands after those bodies were found here. We understand that some shacks were demolished. Just tell us about more about that, please.
What a mushroom of the undocumented foreign shacks so internet all these people have it, and even if they rob you got a cell phone, they would run to that place knowing that you won't find them. So we invited all the stakeholders from Alexandra, including your Alpowers, your Alexandra Taxi Association, and all the various stakeholders from Alexandra. So we came up with a decision. So how about we destroy all these illegal shacks that we have here? Then so that we won't have such a problem. Even these people from East Bank, they also came us to support the initiative that we were doing. And what we were doing here as a community was to ensure that there is no foreign brothers of ours who's going to be hurt when this operation is taking place. Because they are our brothers, they are our fathers, they are, some of them, they are even our uncles. So what we have made sure that we just focus on those shacks that they were problem in the community. We're still living with our foreign brothers that are busy renting on the rooms there. There is no such thing as a xenophobic here. We were just dealing with the problems that we have. We can't have 4 bodies that is lying here and there is nothing that is happening after that. But the cops, when they are doing their search, they say they can't find an evidence or they can't trace those people who have done that. It shows that we have created the problem for allowing those people who are not documented to stay there. So what we have just done, we were checking them randomly. Those who were not documented, we were asking them nicely to put their things on the side so that we can conduct within our operation. Now the cops, they can get inside that on that side because they couldn't. If you tell them that those people were that side, they were also scared to go that side. Now they can come and search whatever they want to.
And I understand that, just to repeat for us, I understand that during that demolition, taking matters into your own hands as residents, you found bags of people in those shacks, and some of those suspects actually ran away.
A suspect ran away with a bag which was full with the cell phone inside it. And when we go in, and the ID of the people, so when we go and conduct inside, we find the different uniform of the people inside that shack as well. And the worst part, we even asked those people if they do know those suspects. They said, yes, we do know the suspect. We are just scared to take them out. We even know they are sharks. I said, guys, how can you allow to live with such people here? We as the community, we can't allow that. So it's better if you move with those people because you're scared of taking them out. Move with them out, sir, so that we won't have such a problems here.
All right. Cornelius, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
That's one of the community leaders who is actually saying that because of what appears to be police inaction here, Aldrin, they then decided to take matters into their own hands, going to where there is that mushrooming of shacks. Of course, demolishing those shacks and finding bags of these residents who were mugged and robbed here, and then finding cell phones as well inside those bags, as well as identity documents. But again, as he has mentioned, no arrests have been made yet. And that means one thing, Aldrin. There might be more incidents at this particular stretch of grass here, which remains uncut. And of course, putting the lives of residents here in danger.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Maageketla. What a gruesome story. But just quickly, one of the colleagues here in studio who lives in the areas, telling me about a group of people being called Amashongololo. Can you just quickly ask any of your guests who you have there whether they know of Amashongololo?
Amashongololo, that's the new term I've heard today, Aldrin, and perhaps they are aware of it. I'm going to ask Cornelius as well, my colleague Aldrin Sempier, asking the name Amashongololo. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. Have you ever heard of that group here in Alexandra who, according to our colleagues, are actually terrorizing the residents?
Yes, we do heard about Amashongololo here as well. You know, they are in different parts of where you will find these squatters around here in Alexandra, but they normally combine in a certain place. Sometimes they would have a party here, or sometimes they would have a party in River Park. But those guys are notorious, to be quite honest with you.
Would you link this incident with that particular group?
No, I'm not quite sure about that. But the fact that the language, it speaks to it goes to the Shongololos. We can't just say it is them. But the way I see things, no, it might be them.
It might be them.
Yes.
All right, there you are, Aldrin. It might be them, and that means the fear around this community here continues. These are issues that are going to haunt the community of Alexandra for a very long while, until those particular groupings are eradicated, as well as those behind these killings that took place on the 27th of December here are arrested. We will try to get more information from police as to what's been done so far, and perhaps even from the municipality about the issues of service delivery, grass that remains uncut, and of course hiding these heinous activities in Alexandra. We will also go from here to where these shacks were demolished, just to see the extent of the anger of the community that is Alexandra, and of course to bring you more on that story later.
And for all of that, you have to stay tuned to the SABC News channel, as Maageketla Mohlabe will be bringing us updates in relation to this particular investigation. 4 people killed in Alexandra, their bodies found in that bush that Maageketla is standing at.